going on, guys? Back with another Barra Wags video. In the last one you saw I got the cooler and radiator and shit mounted and most of the wiring complete and all the rest of it. This morning I got the power steering cooler mounted. Gonna wait until we get the front wheels on and before we can mount the oil cooler, because not sure on space and whatnot and where we're going to put it just yet. But in the meantime, I'm going to come down to the rear of the car and get this Radium Fuel Cell in. So it's your big girl, pretty spiffy, pretty sick. It's got the built-in surge, so this is the actual surge tank built into the fuel cell. So you just give your pumps power and you're in and you're out, your ventilation, that's a fuel level sender. And we're still waiting on the filler neck kit so we can make a filler neck for it, but basically that has to go in there. We're going to be getting rid of this spare wheel well completely, so I'm going to start by chopping that out and maybe a little bit extra up there where the cell's going to go. So I'm going to get to hacking up. Jason doesn't want to have a firewall inside the car so you can still throw tyres and stuff in there. So I'm either going to sink the cell below this level and then seal it with a hatch, or have the fuel cell sitting flush and just build an enclosed box to seal off that, because if you have a fuel cell in your back of the car, it needs to be sealed from the driver. So we're going to try to do it within the fuel cell itself instead of doing a firewall to the actual seats up the front there. So I'm going to get cutting and go from there. Well gone, Drew. Choppity chop chop chop. Back to me old bin prop. Ha! Jake's got bars. Let's see how the cell sits. Snug. Alright. That's just on my bin prop there. Just lower, lift the hoist a tiny bit. Alright, I was about to pull the cell out because I got it mounted, but I figured I better show you guys first. Here she is. So I just pulled these bolts out here, but basically these are just tabs with the thread tap to suit the bolts that they have on there. Solid bit of tubing going between the frame rails, which is going to reinforce the rails in the rear end. Couple tabs there, and a bit of angle iron welded onto the rail up the front there with 4 holes tapped for them. Looks pretty sick, sits real good. Looks like a proper race car now with the Radium Fuel Cell hanging under here. Good clearance to everything, and yeah, she's looking gangster. Do rate a lot. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna pull it out so I can finish welding everything up properly. Spray it with some primer maybe, but then I can't put the cell back in while the primer's wet, but I probably could. Probably spray it with some primer. I'll do some triangles maybe under these tabs here to reinforce them. Yeah, sick. Yeah, then I gotta get like something to fill this gap in, a bolt-in piece, maybe an aluminium with a little bit that comes up here with a inspection flat and seal her off, and then the fuel filler neck that runs over here. Feel like I'm gonna have to do a skin around that to seal that off as well, because it is a part of the fuel system and that has to be sealed from the driver. So fun times, because Chase doesn't want to put a firewall in. Should be right though. So I made the cutout even just to the rail there the whole way around. So I'll get a bolt-in aluminium piece that will cover that. Hit some of the welds with some primer just to stop them rusting. Got the triangles on them, just one side of each, for some reinforcement. But yeah, pretty solid rear end. I'm gonna go ahead and set the fuel cell back in there. Alright, Jason got here late last night. I wasn't here, but oof. Plazmaman! Oof. That sun coming through that window is dogging the boys right now. Horrible lighting. Yes. Finally got the Plazmaman intake manifold bolted on the fuel rail with our Bosch 1650cc stainless injectors. I bolted on the Bosch 3-inch throttle body. Looking good. Put in a couple of fuel fittings. Figured this might be a good time to talk about a major sponsor that's jumped on board for the build. You might be able to tell from this t-shirt I'm wearing. So a huge shout out to Zoo Performance. Sent us some goodies. Absolutely sick. Zoo Performance is a pretty sick company that supply like all sorts of fittings, lines, joiners, fuel stuff, oil stuff, like they have heaps. And I was on their website picking out all the stuff that we needed for the build, and it was actually one of the easiest and best websites I've ever used for ordering stuff. It was so easy. You just hit like AN stuff, adapters, and it's just all there. And then you want braided Teflon line and all the stuff's there. It was actually amazing. And you just select how many of each thing you want and bang. So, and they're local here in Melbourne. So yeah, huge shout out to Zoo for helping out, getting on board. They've sent us some absolute goodies that I'm about ready to start to unpack. Kang t-shirts. See if I can show you the back. I reckon it's pretty sick. Okay. Zero Ux given. Pretty sick, do rate. But yeah, we got a bucket load of goodies. We'll have a look in a couple boxes here. So what do we got? Like dash 4, 45 degrees. We'll have 90s in here. All sorts of stuff like that. We got some stubby holders, pretty cool. I think we got a flag coming to hang up in here. And then we got, heat sleeving for our lines. Some dash 8 fittings, some smaller heat sleeving. O-ring kit. Very handy. Some adapters for our fuel pressure reg and fuel rail and stuff, like the 2 that I've already put in here. See that? Zoo Performance. What do we got here? Oof. Pink toe strap. Pretty cool, pretty cool. We've got all our line here, so this is PTFE, Teflon braided line. Some Zoo V-band. All sorts of cool stuff. So they do absolutely everything. It's going to be a huge help having all this stuff here, so we can smash out some fuel, water, oil, air, breather, all those sort of lines in our AN and braid. So yes, massive thanks to Zoo Performance. Make sure you jump on their website and go check out some of their huge variety of stock. Local guys down here in Melbourne, and they support a lot of drifters and motorsport guys out there, so they're doing heaps in the community, supporting lots of guys. It's sick to see, especially in Australia, because you don't see that a lot in Australia. I'm sure Jason will have something to say anyway at some point. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this intake manifold off, because I've finally got the plugs for the injectors, so I'm gonna make the injector loom that's gonna plug in to this plug that I've already got wired, ready to go, and start looking at getting all the wiring tidied up in here. Alrighty, so I made a injector loom, so that runs underneath, nice and neat with a Deutsch plug there, ready to plug into our injector plug. I finished up wires here. Obviously it's not heat shrunk and ran how I'd like it to be just yet. Not until we get the engine running, then I can finalize it. But yeah, I was able to get the knock sensor plugs and get them fit off. Now that I got the intake manifold, I can see where the manifold, the map sensor, which also does air temperature sensor, is going to sit. So that's that. Got the drive-by-wire, throttle body, Bosch plug, coolant pressure and temperature. This is our fuel pressure and temperature, which will go to the sensor on the fuel pressure regulator. Yeah, she's pretty much finalised, so I'm going to go ahead, put the O-rings on the intake manifold. So it's an O-ring seal, which is kind of cool, and slap her on. Won't use Loctite and make it final just yet, but ish, get her on there. Forgot to put the O-rings on. Ah. I've done some more wiring, which is good. 4 things left to wire on this, and they're not major things, so pretty happy it's almost wired. Got the fuel pumps wired here and the fuel level sender. Had to run relays for the fuel pumps because we ran out of high current outputs. But yeah, fuel pumps wired. I got the Heltec GPS speed sensor wired in, a charge light to excite the alternator, just coming together. Got the intake manifold mocked up. You see I got the loom all done there for the injectors. Some dash 10 bad boys on the fuel rail, dash 8, sorry. Fuel pressure egg mounted. There's the fuel pressure and temperature sensor. A dash 8 return there that's going to go to our cell, and this is going to be in from the rail. That's going to be our boost reference, so that's just got to connect up to that little Johnny down there. Just starting to mock some shit up like that. She's coming together though. Things I got left to wire is the boost control solenoid, which is this wire here. That's the wideband sensor, so don't worry about that. I got to do this left-hand side indicator, so that the boost control solenoid. I got to do a main engine ground, so that's pretty simple. And I got to wire that fuel level sender. I originally have wired into the ECU, but the ECU doesn't have a built-in thing to stop the signal from bouncing up and down so much when the fuel sloshes around. But the IC7 dash does have that, so I'm going to change it so it wires straight into the back of the dash. Got this custom spacer made to bolt the Nardi to the weld-on quick release. It's pretty kang. Right now I'm playing Wastegate, so we got a Turbo Smart 60mm gate. Big boy. This thing's huge. Beside my head. It's like as big as my head.
That's saying something. It's got a big head.
But yeah, I chopped up this little bit of steam pipe, tacked it on there, and now I think I have it where I want it. So it's gonna go something like that. So we are going screamer pipe out the bonnet, of course, hopefully in titanium. It's awfully tight. I'm trying not to roast the brake master too much. We are going to do a heat shield, but like I'm running out of options here. We've got a 4-inch dump to get down there, so I'm just going to have to tack it together and see what we can do. And then yeah, don't fully weld anything until the dump's done and everything like that. Should be able to get a decent heat shield between that master cylinder and maybe put a Wastegate beanie on this and all the heat protection we can get. But yeah, because Barras have the turbos on this side, it's a bit annoying. You got steering rack, master cylinder, clutch master, same as the JZs. It's on this side. If the car was left-hand drive, probably be easier. Or if you had an RB in here, but you get that on the big jobs. Barra and JZ things. She's tight, so I'm gonna go ahead, tack that on, pull the 6 boost off, tack it up, and see where the gate sits. Alright, so we decided we're going to move the gate this side away from the brake master and all that stuff. It's just going to be better. So we're going to delete that and plough a massive hole on this side, and then I've got even bigger pipe, like really big pipe. That's what came with the 6 boost. And then that's the pipe I'm going to use. So I've been notching that. Just sit like that. I'm gonna plough a massive hole in there. Oof. Big dog 60mm gate. No boost control issues. 1000 horsepower, here we come. Yeah. I'm gonna go take this 3-inch hole saw and blast a monster hole in there. It's pretty spooky, but yeesh. Hopefully it goes well. Alright, Wastegate is in its new position with its massive pipe. Jace reckons it looks a little funny, but I think it looks just fine. It sucked to weld to the 6 boost because of the coating they have on the inside. It was horrible. But yes, big boy 60mm. I think I'm going to focus on the cooler piping now. Sort of on the fence on how far I want to go before we paint the engine bay and inside. Originally I was going to get it running, but I don't know, I'm starting to think we should just do the cooler piping, smash out a couple of things and then rip it out and paint. Otherwise I'm going to have all the lines and everything to disconnect as well, so kind of on the fence, but for now I think I'm going to do the cooler piping, and I still need to find out where I'm going to mount the oil cooler as well. But yeah, get some alley 3-inch cooler piping, weld an elbow onto this turbo, cut some holes. Alright guys, cooler piping is coming together well. I'll show you that in a minute, but right now we're having to play around with some titanium from Pulse Titanium. Shout out that guy. Got a few trial pie cuts off him, and if I could manage to do a half decent job of welding them, we're going to be doing titanium exhaust and titanium screamer pipes. So I just tacked them together. Looks pretty good. He already heat treated it with the electrolysis way or whatever, so it's just a plain blue. I just tacked them together. Got a big boy cup for the welder. Haven't got a purge set up yet, but we'll get one if we end up using the titanium. But I'm going to heat treat it a bit more with the blowtorch to try to get some different cool colours out of it, because the plain blue's just not doing it for me. It probably won't have heaps left in its heat range because it's already up to this stage, but we should be able to get some purple, hopefully. This seems pretty cool. With this big head on it, goes nuts. She mustn't have
We're just going back to fucking
much in her colour range left.
No.
Because it's just going to that really light blue, which is the end of the scale.
End of the spectrum.
So that's a bit ebb.
Oh well.
No purples getting out of this.
God, yeah, grab it with your rubber gloves. That's a real good idea.
Oh yeah, warm.
Yeah.
Let it cool down. Lay some bloody dimes. After this though, Corey's having to go, and then he's going to do a better job than me, and then he's going to have to weld it.
Oh.
Don't know.
So you got the test pieces, mate.
I'm so nervous to look at it.
Look at you, the way you're shaking.
Oh, Daddy! It was a little slow at the start. Oh, fuck, I'm shaking so much, man.
I can see that. I can see you sitting there and your hands just like this. There we go.
Fucking filler rod got stuck. Oh. That one was a bit nasty. Real nasty. The fillet got stuck and I cooked that, didn't I?
Yeah, a little bit.
It's really sticky. It like gets stuck in there. That's right. It's practice, yeah?
Practice makes perfect. Or average.
Big Corey's behind the lens. I had a crack. I'll show you in a minute. Looks pretty good. Just getting colour discoloration every time I start. Struggling to keep the gas coverage on the starting point after I start going. But see what the boss man thinks. See how the big dog Corey goes. That was trash.
I think I went a bit too slow.
Yeah, way too slow. He's cooked it. He's roasted the titanium. He's got some beads in there. But we can turn it down if you want to go slower, or just go faster. But the slower you go, the more heat you're going to put into it.
Yeah, I know. I think I also I didn't roll my wrist around as I was doing it.
Torch angle, getting.
I was more focused on that than everything else.
So that's the hot side cooler pipe. That's our boost reference. It's a bit dirty. It needs a scotchy bead rolled. That one didn't work as well. That was my second time using the bead roller. That came up a lot nicer. But yeah, it's all going to get sent off for polishing anyway, so it doesn't really matter. This side that I had mocked up, gonna wait on. We need to mount an oil cooler, and I need Jason to get in here and make some decisions, because no matter what I do, he probably won't like it, because he's picky as hell. Can't please the man. So we're gonna wait before I go ahead and weld that one. Our titanium welding, not too bad. That's the stuff I did. and then there's the stuff Corey bloody roasted. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's got this colour discoloration going on at all my start points, because when I start welding, it's like the gas escapes that, stops shielding that area. I think with a bit of practice, we'd probably get it. See what Jace reckons, and I reckon send it. We'll obviously purge it for the actual thing, but I reckon send it. It'll look pretty damn cool. But yeah, just focus on trying to get the engine bay stuff sorted so I can rip it all out, rip the interior apart, get it bloody painted, and doing other stuff in the meantime. We got this cool Mackie Industries piercing reservoir delete, or relocate I should say. So that on -6 to our cooler, out of the cooler to an external reservoir, and then out of the reservoir to the rack, and then a high pressure line from the pump to the rack as well. Alright, so we changed our mind on what we're going to do on this side. We're going to try to get a smaller oil cooler from Zoo and put it here and snake the piping underneath and up, similar to the other side. But yeah, I'm waiting on a 180-degree bender chop up for that. We should be here tomorrow morning. So in the meantime, I've started stripping the car down for paint. Got all the wires out of the car, so the loom is gone in this box. Obviously the loom hasn't been heat shrunk properly or finished up. Removed some other bits and bobs, clearing it out, getting ready. She's looking bare, inside's all stripped basically. Didn't take long, it's all very easy to pull apart, which is nice. So we're gonna pull the fuel cell out, start marking out some aluminium and boxing I'm gonna be doing back there. Pull out another cable back there, it's the fuel pump feed wire. But yeah, coming together. What do you reckon, Corey?
What you talking about?
Right.
It's starting to look like a car.
What do you mean? I'm pulling things off now.
Why? Oh, painting.
Yes.
Yes, fair enough.
Yes, paint.
You haven't even finished the cooler pipe or nothing yet.
Nah, that's one thing I'm waiting on tomorrow morning. Do that, mount the water cooler, and then rip the rest of the car apart.
I knew that was going to happen.
What did you say to me when I started making it?
Make it symmetrical on each side, because Jace is very big on that. Your cooler pipes, where they come in, like basically it's just these two bends that he likes symmetrical. And I did tell Jesse, and what did he do? He went, one coming in from here and one going up in the fucking here.
Behind the headlight.
Bringing it up here, and you look at it, and one's flat.
It looks fine.
Yeah, it looks fine.
It's intercooler piping.
It's also going to be behind a bar that you can't see. The only time you're going to see it is if the bar comes off.
So, yes.
How the hell are you going to do that? Are you going to like snake it up in there or something?
90 down there, straight through. Yeah, works alright.
Hold there, 90 up, 90 in.
Yes, but I'm going to use a 180 here. Bring it around a bit more instead of welding on like another 90 to bring it around more. Try and make it a bit nicer.
Well, no, you can just have a 90 on an angle.
Yeah.
It still makes a 90, so it'll come up on a bit of an angle, and then the other 90 can sort of just face straight into that.
You almost could, but no. You'd be cutting angles and trying to make it work, whereas a 180 I can just come around and up, and it'd be nicer. It'd be more fluent, like this 45s and stuff, more fluent.
Why don't you just cut this back a bit and put a 45 in there?
That's what I'm avoiding by using a 180, having extra welds.
But then it won't look symmetrical.
True, that one's got a 45 on it. Shit. Maybe I should just put a 45.
There you go, problem solved.
Damn it.
Sorry about that.
Alright, the cooler piping. Oh, that sun is horrible. The cooler piping is now complete. Nice and symmetrical. Looking good. Turbo's a bit loose, so that's not hooked up because I was playing around with the drain. This side. Up into there. Into there. Gonna need to get some pinch moulding once the engine bay is painted for those holes. But yeah, it's pretty damn good. Jason will probably say it's shat, but don't. Yeah. I'm gonna continue tearing it down for paint now. Still waiting on the oil cooler, catch can. A couple more things to mount, but I can do that with the engine out. So I think I'm gonna rip it all out. Start prepping the bay and inside for paint, blocking off holes, and a little bit of stitch welding, stuff like that. Alright, the teardown for paint is well underway. Yeah, got pretty much everything out. I've just been Y-wheeling and grinding back all the seam sealer so we can stitch weld her up. Shave some holes that we don't need. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and start spot welding all the seams together with the old MIG that sucks. Hopefully it works alright. I think we're going to book paint in for the interior and engine bay for next Wednesday. Today's Thursday. I'm going to pull the subframe out, send that off for powder coating. Progress. Alright, been busy welding and grinding. Got all the stitch welding done in the bay, all the spot welds everywhere. Welded and grinded up a lot of the holes that we're not using. Blocked off holes in the firewall and other places. Looking good. Did a bit of rust repair there and rust converter, both sides. Cut out the strut towers for the costal adjustment for the strut tops. I'm going to keep sanding, prepping for paint, move my way into the inside of the car. But I think I'm going to end this video here. Yeah, we got a bit done. Fuel cell, intercooler piping, intake manifold, all the rest. Buttoned up most of the wiring. Yeah, shout out to Zoo for jumping on board. Yeah, stay tuned. Next video, get the engine bay and interior painted so we can start the final assembly. Get this thing running. Say goodbye, Corey.
See ya.